Welcome back to Half the Battle. I'm your host as always, Daniel Levi, and joining me now is the man competing this Tuesday on Dana White Tuesday Night Contender. I'm talking about Cee Jay Hamilton. CJ, welcome to Half the Battle.
What's going on? How you doing, man? I'm glad to be back on here.
Man, it's good to have you on here, and obviously we mentioned you're a Georgia boy, and now you get the chance to represent Georgia, represent Atlanta. You're going out there, Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series. I mean, we know the deal. How much of an honor is it for you to have this opportunity?
I mean, it's a huge honor, man, but, it's been a long time coming. I've been putting in the work, and now it's time to reap the fruits of my labor. So it's a cool feeling being out here doing this.
I mean, you're a guy that's paid his dues. You're a guy that fought Juan Puerta, Rusty Crowder, all the guys that have big names here in the local scene in Georgia. You beat them all coming up. You've tasted defeat. You've rebounded. Now you're on a big win streak. Now you get this opportunity. So, I mean, are you champing at the bit, man?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm every fight I'm chomping at the bit, no matter what. Me and my coach have an understanding that every fight is the biggest fight of your life, whether it's in the NFC or at the Contender Series. So, I've been chomping at the bit for this, and it credits, like I said, to my hard work and perseverance and grinding through the low parts of my professional career, making a quick turnaround and just staying focused on the task. So.
Definitely. And how do you feel about this environment you're fighting in, man? Because look, it's going to be super hot up there. The lights are going to be real bright, and there's only going to be about 30 people in that gym. It's going to be a very interesting and unique environment.
You know what? I mean, the environment is cool. It's hot as hell out here anyways, that dry heat. To be honest with you, the only people I'm worried about that's in the stands are my coaches. And then the only person that I'm concentrating on is Casey Kenney. So, and it's cool. I'll worry about, meeting up with Snoop and talking to Dana after the fight. But, as it stands, my trainer and my corner and Casey Kenney, that's it. Everybody else, I'll talk to them afterwards. But it's going to be cool, though. I like the way they had it set up. I watched the last episode, so I'm excited to be a part of it, man. It's just, one more day. We weigh in tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and then we fight Tuesday.
How have you been acclimating to that desert air, man? Because it's a totally different deal than over here in Georgia.
Yeah, so I've been trying to stay in as much as I can. The last time I came out here for the promo stuff, I did a little bit of sightseeing, and my eyes, man, they got so dry. But it's not bad, but it's a pretty cool place. But besides that air, man, that air is pretty terrible. But besides that, it's cool.
Now, you've been in there with everyone. I mean, you've been in there with UFC vets, with, amazing fighters here in Georgia, and now you get the chance to take on Casey Kenney. He's the former Tachi Palace flyweight champion. How do you feel about this matchup?
Feel great about the matchup. I mean, it's no better time than now for me to be here. I'm mentally better, physically stronger and better. I'm learning. I'm like a sponge. I mean, it's a good time for me and a bad time for Casey Kenney.
You feel like you got the proper amount of experience under your belt before, taking on such a big opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I've fought for Legacy 3 times. I've been under the lights. I train with the best. I get in there with my boy Justin Scoggins every couple weeks. So, yeah, I definitely feel like I have the right amount of experience to be here. I mean, why not? I mean, shit. Like you said, I've been fighting some of the best. I'm not one to pad my record. I've fought all tough fighters. I don't have any bums on my record. So, yeah, of course.
Now, is there any kind of incentive to fight a certain way? And what I mean by that, are you trying to be more wild and reckless to put on a show, or is it just, hey, man, I'm going to go out there and fight like myself?
Yeah, just be me, and that's when I fight like me, when I fight like Cee Jay, the Autobot Hamilton, I put on a show every time. There's never a time where in my fights where they're dull. I always put on a show. So, yeah, yeah, it's a little bit of incentive to show off a little bit more, but I still show out either way. I'm gonna show out, so it doesn't matter.
And it's interesting, man, because, usually every single flyweight fight is exciting. The reason I brought up that incentive was because there was a heavyweight fight on Dana White Tuesday Night Contender, and, there was a knockout as the end result, but up until that point, it was super boring. And we know the deal with the flyweights. Like I said, you guys put on a show every time, so you must feel like, if I just go out there and fight like myself, it's going to be exciting.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to definitely show out without getting careless. I mean, there's a difference between showing out and being stupid and getting caught. And showing out and not being careless, that's Cee Jay Hamilton. So, you've seen my fights before, and you know how I rock, you know how I operate. I'm gonna go in there and we're gonna get down, and I'm gonna show the world, and I'm gonna show Dana why I should have that contract. So
you're on a great win streak, man. What would you attribute your recent success to?
Well, my mindset. I've been putting in the work. But you can put in the work and not have a mindset. Like, some people go to their jobs and their mind's not there. They're just going through the motions. I think, going through those mishaps in my career, coming back from losing and going back to the gym, it was just like there's no incentive to train. I was just going through the motions. Whereas I had to sit back and be honest with myself and get my mentality back. And I'm always surrounded by great people. Mark Miles, Chuck Coffin, my coach, Jim Robinson. I'm always surrounded by great people, but I credit that to them getting my mindset back and getting back to what I normally do, and that's have fun and stop worrying about the end result and just focus on the process. The end result will take care of itself.
Man, so ever since you started, focusing on the process, you feel like that's what led you to the current success you're having now?
Oh, yeah, man. Just focusing on what I need to do day to day. Like, stop, if somebody asks me, they're like, oh, man, you ready for your fight? And, I had signed the contract in May. I was like, man, I'm just worried about today, worried about what I need to get done today. July 18th will be here before we know it. Just worry about today, and everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah, makes sense to me, man. Now, CJ, before I let you go, man, this coming weekend, Kelvin Gastelum is taking on Chris Weidman. I think it's such a good fight. Who do you give the edge to in that one, man?
I don't know, man, because Gastelum's tough, and Weidman, I'm originally from Long Island, New York, so shout out to Weidman because Law is out in Long Island. But I'm going to give it to Weidman, man. I'd like to see him back in the win column.
Oh, so you're a northerner repping the South.
Yeah, man. I moved down here after college and started fighting. So yeah, but I've been here. I've been in the South for like 5-6 years. So this is home to me. So like to me, living in New York. Well, I graduated high school and then moved and did the college thing in the South. But I've been in Georgia for like almost 5-6 years. But I love New York, but I love Hartwell so much. Like, it's just small town. We got the lake. All my favorite restaurants are on one road. And everybody, like, we're just a closed circle group. Like, all my friends, we go on the boat on the weekend, and we train during the week. It's just cool, man. I love where I live.
That's awesome, man. Hey, and in 2 weeks, Jon Jones is making his return against Daniel Cormier. In your opinion, man, is this simply a case where Jones has DC's number, or do you think DC can make the proper adjustments, go out there, and hand Jon Jones his first ever legitimate defeat?
Nah, man. I think we're going to have to get Megatron to come out and beat Jon Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think DC has it. And I like DC. DC's good. It's like a case. It's like, for a while there, Jose Aldo. Like, Chad Mendez was knocking people out. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, Chad Mendez can beat everybody but Jose Aldo. Like, DC can beat everybody but Jon Jones. So, unless Jones decides to go to heavyweight, which I doubt, I don't think DC would be champion again. Jones is too creative for the strikes and his wrestling as well. And, the guy, the way his body is, it's ridiculous. His length, his reach, everything is just, it's off the charts, man. It's going to take somebody to beat him, and I don't think DC's that guy though.
Well, CJ, it's going down this Tuesday. You versus Casey Kenney, Dana White, Tuesday Night Contender, UFC Fight Pass. If it were up to you, how would this fight go down, man?
Oh, it is up to me, and he's either A, getting knocked out, B, getting submitted, or C, he's going to wish he got knocked out or submitted.
There you go. Well, CJ, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me right here, right now on Half the Battle. And before you go, let the audience know where they can follow you on social media and anything else you want to tell the fans. Go ahead.
Okay, so you can follow me on CJizzle125 on Instagram and Twitter, Doja Hamilton on Facebook. I'd like to give a shout-out to my gym, Contemporary Martial Arts, Chuck Carlton, my nutritionist, Carolina Carlton, my strength and conditioning coaches, Ryan and Jennifer Haley, my management team, knockout representation on Hodak. He's one of the best managers in the game right now, killing it. I'd like to give a shout-out to Straight Blast Gym, Adam and Roy Singer. I'd also like to give a shout-out to Jimmy Fowler and Revolution Mixed Martial Arts, Justin Scoggins, Jazz Scoggins, Alexa Connors, Anthony Canzana, my training partner, Brandon Webb, Brandon O'Connell, Tim Curitan. I'd like to give a shout-out to my sponsors, Venom, VersaClimber, Dethrone, Tri-Bubble app, Zag headphones, and Body Fortress, and Northeast Georgia Pools, Eagle Oil, and Jeff Falk, Bank Investments, and everyone that's been a part of this team. We're here now, so we're ready to go.